This technique is great because you get no fibers. All right, here we go. Hey friends, Jet Tila here, and welcome to Ready Jet Cook, where I break down my favorite Asian dishes from the market to the table. And today, we're covering the only thing better than wontons, wonton soup. This dish transports me back to my childhood, visiting Chinatown dim sum restaurants with my grandma. But before we get into it, please take a second to subscribe to Food Network's channel so you never miss out on a great dish. Let's get to the dumplings. So the world of wonton wrappers, egg roll wrappers, gyoza wrappers can be kind of daunting. Let me help you break it down a little bit. For a wonton wrapper, you're gonna want a square wrapper. I like the yellow wrappers because I think they look more colorful in the steamer basket, but these usually mean they have a little more egg and, to tell you the truth, just a little bit of food color in them, which is totally fine. Since we're making wontons, I'm gonna get these square wonton wrappers. Let's put the gyoza back, get everything else we need, and make some wonton soup. Let's talk about the world of Chinese leafy greens. Specifically for wonton soup, I love using baby bok choy. As you can see, it's kind of a light green to dark green leaf profile. Once you cook it either in a soup or stir fry, I think it has a really nice crunch to it. And it also has like a mild, almost like sweet spinachy flavor if you've never had it before. These are baby bok choy because once they get bigger, the actual bulbs and stalks get really white in color, which the translation of bok choy means white vegetable. There you go, is an extra one for you. What I'm looking for in bok choy is whole, full bulbs, no brokenness in the stem or the leaf, a nice even color tone all the way through. Give it a little squeeze. You should barely give. If it yields too much, it's probably been on the shelf a little too long. All right, let's go make our wonton soup. So what makes a wonton a wonton? Wontons are a type of dumpling characterized by a thin wrapper, delicate filling, and they're often served in soup or as an appetizer, as opposed to their heartier dumpling cousins that are very filling on their own. I'm starting by bringing this water up to a simmer, not a full boil, and I'm gonna add some aromatics, which are scallions and ginger. This stock is one of my amazing quick stocks, so you're not doing chicken bones. I'm gonna show you how restaurants get to delicious flavor really quickly. Ginger and scallions are gonna give you an amazing perfume to this broth. So just a little bit of both there, and I'm gonna need a little ginger to make the wonton. I'm gonna show you a really cool trick on how to grate some ginger. Everybody has a box grater at home, and everybody has some plastic wrap. I want you to find the smooth, small holes here, and I want you just to put your plastic wrap tightly over it. Taking your ginger, peel and all, I'm just going to rub this back and forth. Light pressure, you don't have to go crazy. So check it out, friends. This is pure ginger pulp, no fibers. All the fibers here are left behind on the ginger. That's all I need. 3 simple ingredients to finish my quick broth. Chicken powder, a tiny bit of sesame oil, just for that aroma. And we're gonna add a little bit of oyster sauce. This is a fantastic Chinese quick broth for anything, not just wonton soup, but if you're doing noodle soups, if you're doing like hot and sour soup, if you're doing egg drop soup, this is the base right here. While that simmers for 10 minutes, let's make our filling. Starting with a bowl of coarsely ground pork, I'm gonna add my ginger, and it's time to start cutting up some shrimp. I like a very coarse ground shrimp because I want each wonton to be bursting with a nice piece of pork, a big piece of shrimp. So I'm just gonna process this down into probably like 1/4-inch pieces. And the unevenness of the shrimp really kind of adds to the eating experience as well. I don't want the shrimp so small that it's mealy. I want to really get those nice little pops of shrimp throughout each wonton. That's gonna marry with the pork to continue the filling. All right, next I need 1 scallion, very thinly sliced. You Ready Jet Cook OGs know that I buy a slice most of the time. This is one time you don't buy a slice. I just want very thin pieces of scallion so they fold in nice and evenly to this wonton filling. Some of my earliest food memories are sitting around and making wontons with grandma. She was my primary caregiver. So imagine this like 3-year-old kid sitting around the table with grandma just wrapping wontons. Another really great flavor bomb secret in the Chinese kitchen is mushroom powder. This is gonna give you a good amount of salt plus a ton of umami. Next, a little bit of sugar. Cornstarch is gonna help bind this all together. White pepper. And I'm using premium soy sauce. What does that mean? I'm looking for a soy sauce that's brewed, not hydrolyzed. And you can tell by this really nice, rich color. The package will say premium soy. Next, a little bit of oyster sauce. And then lastly, a little sesame oil for some aroma. Those of you OG Ready Jet cookers are gonna realize it's really similar to siumai. And if you've never made siumai, check out that recipe. Just like I made it with grandma, we continue that tradition with our kids. So Allie and I will make the dumpling filling, and then we'll all sit around the table and actually make little wontons and then make the wonton soup for dinner. I'm gonna let this chill for 30 minutes so it firms up and makes it easier for wrapping. So to do so, I've created a little station. I've got my wonton wrappers that have been hanging out under a moist towel. I've got some water to seal the edges. There are a few different ways to make wontons, but the easiest way is just what I call like a golden purse. I'm just gonna wet the edges, put about a teaspoon-ish of filling. I'm gonna bring 2 edges together and then seal the other 2 edges. That's it. You're just making a little purse, just like that. You can also do filling first and then come over with your water to seal. I'm basically doing the triangle, right? And then I'm bringing in the other 2 sides, and that completes the seal. You just want to make sure that the wrapper seals in the protein. So once it hits the water, it sucks it all in and it makes a nice little wonton. So I've got about 2 quarts of water boiling, and this is gonna be to cook off the wontons and the bok choy to make the wonton soup. Wontons go right into the boiling water for about 1 to 2 minutes. The visual indicator you're looking for is when they float. Once they float, they are cooked through, and you wanna fish them out and finish your soup, because if you keep boiling these, like pasta, they can actually get over. If you're not boiling wontons, these are also perfect for fried wontons. Put a little sweet chili or plum sauce and you have the perfect appetizer. This is also the time to fish out that ginger and scallion from my stock. All right, I'm just gonna coax the wontons around so they don't stick to the bottom or each other, and I can see them just starting to float already. I'm gonna grab some bok choy just to quick blanch it in the same water. This is just baby bok choy with the bottoms removed and the leaves exposed. That's going right in. Wontons are floating. Let's fish them out, drain them slightly, and put them right in the bowl. If you're superstitious, Chinese love the number 8 because it rhymes with luck. So I'm doing 8 wontons. Bat is a word for 8, fat is the word for luck. I'm blanching these bok choy leaves until they're bright green and the stems just start to give a little. Strained out the aromatics from the stock. I brought it up to a simmer and it's ready to pour into the wontons. I like to hit each bowl with a little bit of scallion and just a dusting of white pepper. There it is, wonton soup like grandma used to make. Perfect bite is a little bit of bok choy, one of these wontons. The wontons are full of umami. The soup is rich and comforting. And then that bok choy is that perfect counterpoint. It's slightly bitter, still sweet and crunchy. This dish hits every happy note. So go ahead and try this wonton soup for yourself. It's an instant classic. And don't forget to subscribe. Make sure to hit that like button. And I'm gonna see you next time for another episode of Ready, Jet, Cook.